This time last year, Wakefield and Salford began the season in style, and it looked like they were dark horses for Old Trafford. Wakefield finished 5th, a level best. Salford fell away alarmingly, but they still finished in the top 8. Two remarkable achievements that both are looking to better in 2018. Well, it's round 2 of the Betfred Super League Season 23. A couple of matches last night. Huddersfield seeing off Warrington, and the Leeds Rhinos at Ellen Road heading off to next week's World Club Challenge in Melbourne with a 2 wins from 2 record so far. It wasn't a happy return for Danny Maguire. Round 2 continues here. Then tomorrow morning, history will be made as Wigan take on Hull in the first Super League match to be played outside of Europe. You'll see it live from Wollongong, Australia at 8:30 in the morning on Sky Sports Arena and Main Event. Tomorrow afternoon, Catalan Dragons have St Helens as visitors in Perpignan. Sky Sports Arena for that starting just after 5. And on Sunday, the round is completed when Castleford entertain Widnes at the Jungle. So to the game here, and Wakefield, after their opening round win at Hull KR, don't fiddle with the lineup too much. The backline's unchanged from last week. Tom Johnson's return after a 10-month layoff was spectacular as he ran in 3 tries against Rovers last week. In fact, it's the same starting 13 for the coach Chris Chester. The forward pack plays on. Justin Horrow is the new boy from last season, having been signed from the Catalan Dragons. And on the bench, well, Keegan Hurst drops out from last week. Craig Hubie is fit to return, having missed last week's win. Salford now beaten by Wigan, but not too far away, according to coach Ian Watson. He's made changes. Gareth O'Brien reverts to full-back. Greg Johnson is out, so Niall Evalls switches to the wing. Jack Littlejohn makes his full debut, having been on the bench last week. The forward pack remains unchanged. The alterations come on the bench then, where George Griffin drops out. Littlejohn is promoted to the starting 13, so Logan Tompkins comes in, and the Fijian World Cup star Ben Nakambawai makes his Super League debut. Now then, an interesting note about today's matchday mascots given to me by Bill Arthur. The Wakefield mascots tonight include members of the Bassetlaw Bulldogs junior team. There they are from North Nottinghamshire. They've just been set up as a club and are getting great help and support from the Wakefield Community Department. They're playing their first ever game during half-time tonight, and they are excited that it coincides with the live game here on Sky. Well, Salford this evening in their change strip. Like Wakefield, they had a remarkable season in 2017, 4th after 23 rounds last year. Eventually they finished 7th. They imploded towards the back end. It really all boiled down to a Challenge Cup semi-final defeat to Wigan. At Wakefield, they equalled their best ever finish to a Super League season last year. They were 5th. Now the big question is, can they kick on in 2018? Many pundits believe that they can. And some of those pundits are alongside me here tonight. Terry, Barry and John Wells. Terry, do you think that Chris Chester's men can make a real bid for Old Trafford this year?
I don't think you can turn up and you can take Wakefield lightly, Eddie. Liam Finn has done a tremendous job ever since he signed for the club. And you just look at the threats that they've got. Tom Johnson out on the wing, who come back after 10 months out, scored a hat-trick last week. And I think there's competition for places, genuine competition. They're a powerful side and controlled well by the likes of Finn, Miller and Griggs. And for Salford, well, they were outstanding last year, as you said, early on in the year, but they fell away at the back end of the year, just winning 1 out of the last 10 league games. So they've got it all on. I don't think many people are expecting Salford to give it a go tonight, but I'm expecting Ian Watson's men to get stuck into Wakefield straight from the kick-off.
Well, Eddie, if you look at Wakefield, you talk about the potential, and it's a long time since Chris Chester has had a side with such potential. Now, whether that potential can be matched with some self-belief, some quality and some consistency, I think we'll see throughout the season. But most of us think it's going to be a good year for Trinity. Salford have a bit of soul-searching to do after last week's defeat.
1 or 2 new faces on the field in the playing staff. A new face alongside Chris Chester. Michael Monaghan has moved from the south of France, the former Warrington hooker, and he has come here to be assistant coach to Chris Chester. John Keir, of course, now is down the road at the Bradford Bulls. Well, Wakefield is a difficult place to come these days. They are a team with quite a bit of talent, on show, and James Child is the match referee this evening, the man who had control of last year's grand final, of course. Salford losing the 10 of the last 11 in the League and Cup last year. They never rediscovered their form after that Super League defeat by Wigan. They lost 6 of the 7 in the Super 8s. But Ian Watson remaining highly optimistic for 2018. And of course there's a new board in control at Salford as well, with Marwan Kukash now taking very much a back seat in proceedings. Gareth O'Brien then gets the match underway. Deep kick-off from him. And a nice little bit of football skill from Scott Griggs as he collected that kick-off with the outside of the right boot, fed Anthony England, the big prop forward, and here we go. Could be an interesting and an entertaining 80 minutes, this.
Well, Salford started really well last week when they played against Wigan. Chris Wellham scored in the opening try on 4 minutes. And you can just see that the ball bounces just in front of Griggs. But the likes of Fafita, they've got to make sure they control them. And that man, the number 4, Junior Sal, come up with a wicked shot on young Tom Davis last week. They need to be physical, but they need to be disciplined, Salford.
Calwood was the man at dummy half. He's back in there again as the ball is played to him by Anthony England. This is Tinaru Arona now. Top tackler last year for the Wakefield Trinity side. Liam Finn, man with the kicking game that can trouble any team, and that's well fielded by Gareth O'Brien. He started at half-back last week, did O'Brien, wearing number 1 on his back, so probably is the recognised fullback for the Salford Red Devils.
Well, look at that for an opening set from Chris Chester's men. 90 metres, carried the ball strongly, kicked the ball, dropped it just before the try line. The pressure's on now for Salford to complete this set, get to the kick and get some valuable field position.
That's 4 tackles gone though, and Wakefield have restricted them to just 20 metres, and that's 5 gone now. So here comes the last. Young Josh Wood was hauled down in the tackle, so the kick will have to be good. It's high, but it's straight into the arms of Scott Griggs.
And that's the reward, Eddie. Great defence from Trinity, restricting those metres. They put pressure on the kicker. Unlike when Wakefield had to kick, Liam Finn had all the time in the world. He placed it where he wanted it, and a good defensive set came off the back of it. Wonderful offload.
It is by Bill Tupou. He found Scott Griggs. And they had to be alert in defence. Lamatazi was for Salford. Here goes Matty Ashurst now. Formerly with Salford, he had 3 seasons there, did Ashurst. Wood again at dummy half. Anthony England will charge this ball forward.
Doesn't change his run, doesn't he, Anthony England? Big, powerful prop forward.
Here is Wood, he got the ball away, gets the return pass as well. Griggs now will take it back into centre field. Just looked like they might have lost their way for a moment here, Wakefield. Solid defensive line from Salford. Wood waits once again as England plays the ball to him, and it's with Jacob Miller. Miller's high kick to the corner, well fielded out on that far side. Bill Tupou keeps the ball alive despite the fact that he went over the sideline. Here's Griggs again, another dab into the in-goal area from Scott Griggs. That's a great kick from Griggs, and Robert Louis had to come across and just shuttle the ball dead. He's pointing his Robert Louis to what happened here, where Wakefield somehow kept the ball alive.
Nice and controlled offload, wasn't it? To Tupou from Johnson, and again they just look up, they play what's in front of them. That's what I mean when I talk about the pivots that they've got so many players that can cause problems. Nice clean catch, nice offload, and then they just look for the teammates in a better position.
Well, that's perfect positioning by the linesman to make that call.
Just while we're on this, have a look at a lovely little offload earlier in the piece. Scott Griggs is the man who goes through and collects it. Griggs also with a lovely little kick that's resulted in this dropout. He's another one of those ball players, Terry. Griggs playing at the back, very often forgotten as a ball player, but he's a very crafty individual.
Back they come again, Wakefield Trinity in the shape of Arona. Now it's with Liam Finn. There's big David Fafita. He's going to make an impact this year. He's brushed away from 2 or 3 there. Robert Louis came in with a bit of help from Wella Haraki and got him down.
And he's got good footwork for a big fella, same as a lot of the forwards knocking around Super League, but David Fafita's 18 stone. Got feet like an outside back.
Here's the first penalty of the match. Interference at the play of the ball.
And that's what a big fella will do to you. They commit too many players to David Fafita, so the next carry, the defensive line's a bit skinny, they can't get back, and a penalty was given away by McCarthy.
And confidence these days from Wakefield. They were banged in front of the sticks there, but not interested in the 2. They're going for 6 here, because it's been all Wakefield in the opening 4 minutes of this match thus far. Wood goes down the left-hand side, finds Liam Finn. Liam Finn is brought down by the tackler Josh Wood. Here now is Fafita. He'll take some stopping at that range. 1, 2, 3, 4 men come in to make sure that he doesn't get over the try line. There's Kyle Wood again, passes the ball out. Chance here for Ashurst. Last tackle coming up for Wakefield. Ashurst will play the ball. Wood will give it a bit of space. Miller with the crossfield kick. Looking for the big men in the middle, only finding Junior Sow, but I think there's a penalty coming Salford's way. Someone taken out off the ball.
Yeah, it was Horrow. He was tackled as he was coming in to challenge for the ball. He was just taken away from the play completely.
Just a little bit.
So it's a penalty to Wakefield. I thought that might have gone the other way.
There's some lovely stuff going on at dummy half. Kyle Wood has some wonderful deception. He's looking one way, passing another.
Grix has found a hole, and Grix will score the first try of the match. Scott Grix, the 33-year-old fullback who played in his 3rd World Cup last year. He ended 2017 in Super League with a try against Wigan in the 30-0 victory that Wakefield recorded. He's got them up and running here tonight against Salford.
Well, it came from a penalty, didn't it? Taken out off the ball, Little John on Horrow. And Terry, we were mentioning very early on, weren't we, about the amount of ball players. It starts with Finn on one side, through the hands of Tinarona to Miller, and a lovely bit of deception, the show and go. And you only turn down those penalties, those guaranteed 2 points, when you feel you've got the measure of your opposite number. And I think Wakefield feel incredibly comfortable, even early on.
There's a confidence in the side. When they're close to the opposition's line, so many players want to get their hands on the ball. Liam Finn scored a try last week when they played against Hull KR, again with a little show and go. These pivots aren't afraid of taking on the defensive line, Eddie.
1 or 2 little decisions going in Wakefield's favour there. The first one was when Tupu somehow managed to keep the ball in the field over on the far side, got the flick pass back inside, looked for all money as though his feet were on the ground the other side of the whitewash, and then the collision that resulted in Justin Horrow getting the penalty. Anyway, they're 4-0 up, and Liam Finn managing to make it 6-0 if he can, and Liam Finn has done exactly that. Wakefield lead by 6 points to 0, 6.5 minutes on the watch. Look at this.
As I said at the time, the touch judge is in the perfect position. He's looking at the ball, he's looking at the foot. Robert Lewitt, he feels he's done his best.
The foot was on the wrong side of the whitewash.
He's actually fallen into the touch judge, hasn't he? Maybe obscured his view a little. Scott Grix won't mind. 6-0 Wakefield.
No. You just have to take the luck when it comes along.
The big difference with Wakefield this year is the depth and the quality in that depth of this squad. You look at the bench tonight. Kermond, Paulie, Hubie, Hampshire, all game breakers, all quality players. I'm really looking forward to watching Paulie get out there tonight.
This is Ashurst again. He was an England Academy player 10 years ago, Matty Ashurst. Kyle Wood gets the ball away once again, and he's fighting for his feet as Arona gets there in the end. Here's Wood. That looked a little high from Tyrone McCarthy. Play on. And that's what he does, plays it to Grix. High kick now again from Miller. Big tester here for O'Brien. He could hear Tupu and co coming at him, and he's going to be bundled over the sideline. He is. Robert Louis not happy again, and in fact James Child has given the penalty because he was bundled over the sideline illegally, Stuart.
Well, the touch judge on the far side is called and he's being dragged into touch. I think you probably see as he makes the ground there, he's just dragged across the ground and correctly penalised for doing that.
Well, this will relieve the pressure on Salford. They got a 4th-minute try from Chris Wellham, which gave them a 6-0 lead against Wigan last week, but they lost 12-40 in the end. They paid the price for George Griffin's sin binning 5 minutes before half-time. And Wigan, of course, recording the victory and then heading off down under for the match against Hull in Australia tomorrow morning. History-making Super League match being played outside of Europe for the very first time. It'll be fascinating to see A, what the crowd is, and B, how the game goes for these two. Second match of the season for them both. Wigan Hall, 8:30 in the morning, Sky Sports Arena. Brian, Phil and Bill Arthur will be joined by Tony Ray to bring you the full coverage of that one.
This is where Salford need to play the game. They have got some stars. You look at the likes of Gareth O'Brien
good hit.
and Robert Louis, and that's what they need. Intimidating defence. Get off the line, get in the eye line of the player who's about to catch the ball and try and slow them down. Take the game away from the likes of Kyle Wood. Good hit from Josh Wood, straight underneath Ben Jones-Bishop.
Jones-Bishop managing to hang on to the football as well. That was Miller at dummy half, his Fifita again.
They've hardly touched the ball, Salford, and every time they've got it, they've been under stress. They've had to put all their energy into defending.
Last tackle here for Wakefield. Finn's kick right down the middle of the field. This will stay within the field of play. O'Brien picks it up. And here's Jake Bibby now. 6 tries from 17 last year. He established himself in the team when Justin Carney departed for Hull Kingston Rovers. And Niall Evalds, try from fullback last week in that defeat to Wigan.
Wakefield quite happy to kick long, chase hard, get numbers in the tackle, turn them around, slow it down for them. Lamatasi comes up with a strong carry running straight at Fifita.
But 4 tackles gone, 40 metres made. Here they come again now with Josh Jones. Josh Jones gets the ball away to Wood. Good play. This is Little John out the back door from Little John. A no-look pass. Good job that Junior Sowers there, but he knocks the ball on and gives it to Liam Finn. But is it a knock-on first off by Wakefield? Is this going to be head and feed to Salford?
No.
Yes, it is.
I thought the knock-on was by Junior Sarr on the...
It looked like it.
On the ground as he went down.
No, come on, let's form up. Okay,
Well, whether or not he was saying that when the ball was offloaded, that it came off a Wakefield hand. I didn't see it come off a Wakefield hand, though. Junior South, former Kiwi international.
And they won't be arguing about that decision, Salford, because they have been under the cosh for the last 11.5 minutes. Here's Weller Haraki. He is 33 years young next week. Is Weller. Josh Wood, the other end of the age scale, 22. Lamatasi taking it forward now inside the 30-metre zone. First time that Salford have threatened this Wakefield line thus far tonight. Little John gets it away to O'Brien. He's halted by Liam Finn.
Hold.
A little bit of help also from Justin Horrow. Little John finds McCarthy. Tyrone McCarthy
Move, Jacob.
goes down 12 metres shy of the line. Wood to Louis. Louis then to Haraki. Little drop of the shoulder from Haraki.
5.
Wakefield working hard in defence to bring him down. That's how close they are, though, Salford. Can they get over the line and level things up? Louis drills the ball in. Knock on by Liam Finn. Picked up.
0-0 is gone.
And it is Salford who have the ball back right on the Wakefield goal line, as you can see. And now they get a penalty because they wouldn't let Mossop get back to his feet.
Nice kick, Eddie. Putting pressure on Wakefield, turning them around. Weller Haraki started this game well for Salford over on the right-hand side.
Lamatasi now will take it forward on the first tackle after that penalty. They are so close, Salford. This would be a real fillip to them if they get over the line. Louis gets the pass away to O'Brien. He finds Wellham. Wellham tried to flick it into the arms of Bibby and the ball finds its way into touch. The chance has gone.
Well, they were looking for that space. They were looking for the quick ball from Wellham. Johnson wedged in, so there was space outside for Bibby. Well, look at this. Perfect kick. There was enough players in the eye line. That was great defence, good build-up from Salford.
Salford have looked a different side, haven't they, when they've been given field position. Ian Watson will be very pleased at the work that Gareth O'Brien, Robert Louis, Jack Littleton are able to do in the final third of the field. But there's going to have to be some work done by Josh Jones, Weller Haraki, the big boys in the middle, to get him in that position. Great bit of defence, by the way, from Tom Johnston. Grabbed the headlines in round one with a hat-trick of tries. That's a try-saving effort for me there.
And it was the first hat-trick of Tom Johnson's career. Was that last week?
I don't think it'll be the last.
No, he's a talent.
Outstanding player.
2016 Young Player of the Year, you might remember. He was injured last April against Castleford, and he has had to endure 10 long months on the sideline. Made the most of his opportunity again last week.
Here's another player that I'm really excited to see in a Wakefield shirt. Justin Horrow. You were talking earlier, Barry, about strength and depth. I think they've got real balance as well now, left and right hand of the field. They've got a real workhorse on the left in Ashurst. They've now got one on the right in Horrow. Was excellent for the Catalan Dragons last year.
Wood gets the ball away to Finn. Finn then looks for Miller, the runner. And Miller spreads it wide to Tupu. Here's that man Johnson. Tight to the touchline, surrounded by 3.
5.
Tackle to the ground on number 5 by 3. And Miller again goes the aerial route. It's a real old-fashioned up and under, and O'Brien does well. Gets it, clutches it to his chest, hits the deck.
No pressure on the kickers. You see, it's a relatively easy catch for Gareth O'Brien, but Salford not putting any pressure on the kickers from Wakefield. They've got some outstanding kickers. Jacob Miller, Liam Finn can put it where they want to.
This is where they're letting themselves down, Salford. They're not making any inroads, chewing through tackles. They're getting halfway through the set already, and Junior Sal just about to get over the 30-metre line. And that's credit to a well-organised Wakefield defence, in my view.
Flick pass finds Josh Wood.
5. Move.
O'Brien is in there at dummy half once again. Josh Jones gets it away to Junior Sow. Niall Evans tried to fly hack the ball forward. It's still the last tackle, says the referee. Littlejohn finds O'Brien. O'Brien will dab it to the corner and back himself. He's chasing it, and that's a great kick. That's a fabulous kick. Griggs is trapped, and they force the goal line dropout.
It was as though they made that play up, Eddie, as they went on. On the 5th play, they shifted it out wide. They didn't realise it was the last tackle. All of a sudden, they got a couple of offloads, but then they come up with this great kick and an excellent chase. This is your reward for all the little things. When the ball's kicked, don't just sit back and admire it. You've got to make sure that you put some pressure on your opposite, like to Scott Griggs. You don't want him to look up and link up with his wingers, because if they do that, the likes of Tom Johnson, Ben Jones-Bishop, in broken play, they can burn you.
So goal line dropout then, Wakefield take. O'Brien's underneath it, only 40 metres out. This is a great chance for Salford with Lama Tarsi, but that's good tackling again in defence by Wakefield Trinity. Josh Wood once more. Here is Lee Mossop now. He'll take it forward. Will Mossop
Move. Hold.
will play the ball then to Wood. Wood finds Robert Louis. Louis then gives it to O'Brien. O'Brien to Haraki. Angled run from him to the 10-metre line. Wood is bossing the players around him. This is Robert Louis. No look pass finds Mossop. Mossop goes down just shy of the post. 2 left in this set of 6. Littlejohn will take it back the same way. Littlejohn gets away from a bit of trouble. Here's Josh Jones again. Josh Jones running laterally. Jacob Miller gets to him. Jones gets it away to Wood. Wood then finds Tyrone McCarthy. McCarthy straightens it up. Tackle number 5 coming up. Last one then for Salford here. Can they get some reward or another set of 6? It's with Littlejohn. He then finds O'Brien. Good hands. Junior Sow. Good work by Ben Jones-Bishop. And that's the turnover. And that's good defence from Wakefield.
Good defence from Wakefield. When the ball's gone away from them, they've pushed across. They've helped each other out. But it took Salford 17 minutes to get into this game. And they're certainly into the pace of the game now. They've probably been the best side for the last 10 minutes, Eddie.
Well, if you're listening carefully, a couple of minutes ago you'd have heard the crowd here applauding, and we're going to find out why they were applauding now. Angela Powers has got the story.
Yes, Eddie, on 16 minutes, that applause that you heard was for a young fan called AJ Finnan. He died at the age of 16 on October the 17th last year. Very suddenly he was taken, and that applause was in his memory.
Thanks, Ange. I knew it must have been quite significant, that, and obviously this is the first home game since that tragedy.
40.
Jacob Miller's gone for a long, deep kick. Ball stands midway inside the Salford half of the field. Jake Bibby got to it first.
Again, look at the chase though. Matty Ashurst leading that. I said before, Eddie, that he played for England Academy. I thought he was unlucky not to get in the England squad last year. The way that he performed for Wakefield, he was outstanding.
Well, he's Wakefield's reigning player of the year, is Matty Ashurst. And he was at Salford 3 seasons ago, you may remember. He began at Saints. Josh Wood again. Logan Tompkins on the bench tonight for Salford. Interesting to see when or if Ian Watson utilises him. Josh Wood having a fairly lively opening 18-19 minutes. Here's that man, Tom Johnson. Little hop, skip and a jump.
Doesn't he excite the crowd every time he gets the ball?
He does, and he obviously excites Salford's defenders, because every time he's had it tonight, there's been 3 or 4 around him. Ben Jones-Bishop has some pace when he's away too.
There's some panic whenever wingers get the ball in the middle of the field. You panic as a big fella, thinking that, are they going to skim me, are they going to step me?
You look at the significance of the way the tackles are ending as well. They're able to get relatively quick play the balls. These Wakefield players are dominating that tackle area. Offloads are coming.
Great offload from Greg Hubie, that was. Good to see him back in the side, Greg Hubie. 300-game veteran of this sport, and he's only 31 years of age. Liam Finn's kick was charged down, 6 to go. 6 to go for Wakefield. Better than a kick to the sideline, that.
Well, they only talked about kick pressure 2 or 3 minutes ago. They put kick pressure on. They've surrendered another set of 6 and then given a penalty away. Gareth O'Brien putting his team under pressure.
I wonder if Wakefield will be tempted here to take the 2 on offer.
Well, they were confident before and they tapped the ball, didn't they? Will they go for it? See Gareth O'Brien.
Yeah, well, they're going for it. With Hubie, fed by Liam Finn.
They want the point, Teddy.
Well, they're so close now after just 1 tackle. Look, there they are. That's Kyle Wood. This is Arona. Oh, big hit by Tazi, but he didn't manage to get the ball clamped. Although, fortunately for Salford, Kyle Wood put the pass down.
Well, he drops the ball, goes round Arona, gets rid of a couple of Salford defenders, looks to offload the ball, and just as he was going down to catch it, loses it. And Chris Chester, he'll be disappointed. They turned the chance down and going for 2 points. They thought the try was on offer, and then all of a sudden they come up with that mistake.
Particularly telling that they've gone to run the play again. They did that on the 10th minute, and nothing in the intervening 10 minutes of this Wakefield side. Salford have not done anything to change their mind about that. They must feel incredibly comfortable out there as a unit, that they're prepared to run that despite the outcome.
These 2 sides have been in Super League 20 seasons. Wakefield 20 unbroken seasons now, since they were promoted in 1999. Salford 2, but they have been relegated a couple of times. But Wakefield this year, they look like they've got one of the finest squads in the 20 years of Super League. Remember, last weekend they were one of 5 clubs to begin 2018 with a victory of 20 points or more. But they have conceded a penalty here, which Gareth O'Brien will dump into touch, and Salford will begin from just inside their own half.
And they're much needed penalties then when you're close to your own line. And in those situations, you're thinking, where am I on the field? What's my job? What forgot to do?
Well, Logan Tompkins is on for Salford.
They've made 2 changes just to expand on the point that Wellesley made about the ruck being too fast. Wakefield playing the ball too quick. Salford not able to control that ruck area. It's the focal point of nearly every game of rugby league. Logan Tompkins will come on and put some craft in now.
Craig Kopjak is also out there, as also is Ben Nakambawai, who's just had his first touch in the Super League. Here's Little John. Gets the ball away. O'Brien, it was a no-look pass, looking for Evolds. And Evolds' foot in touch then again?
No advantage.
Well, he said there's a knock-on anyway.
Well, there's no advantage, it'll go back. Gareth O'Brien, he's got good hands. He's not afraid of wording a tackle as well. He goes right at the line. You can see he only passes that ball when he thinks it's right. But Ben Jones-Bishop has a little touch on that.
They've got that right every time so far, Trinity. When they've had to come in and shut a player down, it's ended up the ball, and it's a refined skill. It's an elite level skill to catch the ball and pass it and put it in the place that it's supposed to be. If it's a little bit low, a little bit behind, it just slows everything down.
So that was Tompkins who fed Robert Louis. This is Wella Huraki to the 30-metre line. Logan Tompkins in there again. Left out of the 17 against Wigan. Named in the squad, Logan Tompkins, there he is, but didn't make the match day 17. Robert Louis Drops the pass off to Craig Kopczak. And Kopczak just 10 metres short. Tompkins again. Bit of a misunderstanding. The ball went backwards though. Kopczak picks up the pieces. No knock on. Wakefield fans disagree, but it looked okay. Here is Little John. Josh Jones. Josh Jones flicks the pass to Tompkins. Tompkins then to Tyrone McCarthy.
5. Move, Craig. Hold. Go.
Tompkins again on the last tackle for Salford. Little John. Louis gets the ball away to Haraki again. Up and over the top it goes. Flick back again. Still with Chris Whellan. Tidy defence from Wakefield. Good stuff from them. Mistake by Bibby. 0 tackle. And, well, they'll come back for the original offence, which was the knock-on.
Then it's good defence, isn't it, from Wakefield?
Play the ball.
The outside edge players, Tom Johnson, Ben Jones, Bishop, closing players down.
Play the ball.
Seems some urgency from both sides. A lot at stake, even though it's only round 2. 2 vital league points.
Come on, yeah, your ball.
Well, it's certainly vital for Salford. Hull Kingston Rovers for them next. Then a crucial month of March. St Helens, Castleford, Hull, Widnes, Catalan Dragons. March will be a testing month for Ian Watson and Salford.
Hold. Go, 2.
Here goes Kyle Wood again, a little scampering run from dummy half. Little Tupu takes it forward again.
Release. Go 4.
Plays the ball on the halfway line. This is Miller, back from Miller to Liam Finn. Finn to Griggs, Griggs then to Reece Lynn. Ben Jones Bishop outside him. Junior Sow deals with the threat.
Go.
Down the short side they go. The kick will be a bit long, I think it is.
This is 0.
A very ambitious decision to jump out. Must have had 2 or 3 metres to play in. He got a good kick away. Ultimately, it was a little bit too long, and there's no chase, and Salford get to work it away from their own line, or their own 20, should I say.
Move. Hold. Go.
Tompkins again. Luke Burgess, one of the Burgess boys.
Move. Hold, guys. Hold. Got 1.
The other 3 with South Sydney in the NRL.
2. Mutiny. Hold.
Kopczak goes down. So all 4 of Salford's subs are on the field. Burgess with a little juggle.
See the difference in speed of the ruck. It's demonstrably different. What Wakefield are able to do to Salford, once they get hold and wrap up like this, take them to ground, on the back, these extra half seconds make all the difference to line speed and your ability to puncture a defensive line.
Problem there, I think, for David Fafita. But this is Evalds. He dumps the ball over the top looking for Junior Sow. Junior Sow is slid into touch by Liam Finn. And Fafita needs some attention in back play as Wakefield celebrate great defence.
You know you've got a good side when they get excited in defence. You see the numbers flooding through. Liam Finn, I know Liam Finn very well, and he is not known for his great defence, but he's on the spot there. He's willing to put his body on the line and do his little bit.
Junior Sow, the man who was slid over the line. Debut for Salford 2014 in an 18-14 home win against Wakefield. David Fafita looks like he's okay, bit of a head bang, I think, but he's all right.
Ooh, the ricochet.
Craig Hooby into Gareth O'Brien, who then hits the old noggin of Fafita.
You have to wonder why David Fafita is still on the field after seeing that.
I think he jumped up extra quick because it's so cold outside. You don't want to stay down, don't want to stay cold on the floor. Get up. Colder than a Penguins flipper out there today.
Well, that's a new one. Thanks, Barry. Some hearts must have missed a beat then. I think this is Ben Jones Bishop.
2, Junior, move. Hold.
This is Liam Finn now at dummy half. And Lama, beg your pardon, it's Justin Horrow for Wakefield. Jacob Miller and Fafita, well, he looks okay. In fact, he flicks Haraki out of the way, and look at those legs again.
And he's one of the better defenders, well, Haraki.
Just smack round the chops then by Luke Burgess on Arona. Liam Finn again, angled kick, aiming for the referee. Being chased here. That's a great run by Scott Griggs, but in the end, Matty Ashurst came in over the top, and I think that's a flop.
Tackle was complete.
The kicks are very good. The chase is even better, which makes these kicks look exceptional. Look at that. Griggs is outstanding. He can read the players. There's communication between players. It just doesn't happen like that.
Foot, just wait.
The tackle was completed, though. There was no need for Matty Ashurst to come in over the top as he did. Burgess now trying to get Salford up towards the halfway line. Tompkins will carry the battle forward again here. Gets them over halfway, just before Hubie brings him to ground. Robert Louis. Hull KR made a bid for him, remember, on the eve of the season that was turned down. Good movement by Salford. They keep the ball alive well.
He went in hard, Paulie. Just come onto the pitch, number 15.
Junior Sow.
I think David Fafita, with that head knock, has gone off for an assessment. Paulie on for his housemate.
Wellham.
Surrender!
Got a big bandage on his right leg, has Paulie. Robert Louis with a kick. High, claimed by Ben Jones-Bishop.
Well taken from Ben Jones-Bishop, who was under some pressure. 3 Salford shirts straight in front of him then. He had to be brave. Come down with that ball.
It's a really good take, an exceptional take. You cannot take your eyes off the ball for 1 second. You know what's coming at you. It's all the experience in the world from Ben Jones-Bishop.
Move, ball.
It was a good hit by Haraki, but then they spoiled it by holding down Miller as he tried to get to his feet.
If you remember early on in the game, whenever Wakefield were carrying the ball, they were going forward. You can see the penalty here from Haraki. They're getting well and truly into the faces of Wakefield now. Every time they're carrying the ball, Wakefield aren't making as many metres. And that's because you've got to give credit to the Salford defensive line, the way that they're getting up, the way that they're handling the initial contact and then taking the players to ground.
Well, we saw that David Fafita had a bit of a clash of heads. I was amazed he stayed on the field. I think he's off the field now, though, Angela, isn't he?
Yes, he did. It was that ping-pong between 2 players, wasn't it, of Gareth O'Brien. He stood up, bounced back up to play again, and quite clearly is not quite all there at the moment, so he's making his way around the pitch to the treatment room for a concussion test.
And Gareth O'Brien somehow is A-OK because he got a real bang on the back of the head when he collided with David Fafita.
Move, work back, Josh.
He's A-OK, though, as you see. He's directing traffic at the back. Here is Liam Finn. Miller. Reece Lynn. Junior Sow gets to him first, and then there's 2 others to help out. It's with Liam Finn again. Kick towards the post into open space. That's bounced everywhere.
Backwards.
Oh, hang on. The ball has come back to Jacob Miller. Does he get a touchdown on this? Does Jacob Miller score a try here? There's a play-on decision, but they've got no try on the field.
Check how the ball comes out, and if that's okay, the grounding, please.
So they got no try on the field, but he's offered there, Stuart, the opportunity for Ben Thaler to turn this round if he feels necessary.
Yes, he does. Coming from a kick, so we've got to check that everybody's onside, which they are. And then we have a bit of a ball bouncing around near the in-goal area. Salford seem to be in possession, but then lose it. So we play on from here. Ball goes backwards off Salford. We've got possession taken. What happens after this? We'll just be checking to see whether that ball is touched first by Gareth O'Brien and which direction it goes. So that's probably a knock-on from Gareth O'Brien there. But what happens after here? Because we can play on. Looks like a one-on-one ball steal.
Oh, but then he loses it, doesn't he?
He loses it on the ground, yeah. So I think the first offence is probably the knock-on by Gareth O'Brien. The ball goes back off there, and then Gareth O'Brien just touches the ball into his own player. Could actually be classed as offside there, but I think he probably just gets back onside in time. We've got a one-on-one ball steal there, and the ball...
Oh, hang on. It's not touched the ground.
And when he got up, he shook his head, didn't he? He knew he didn't score that try then, Jacob Miller.
That's tremendous work. Tremendous work by Robert Louis, by the way. I don't know whether he knew much about it. Here we go. Let's see what the decision is. We think it's going to be a no try. And that's exactly what it is. No try. But how did they restart the game? Was there a knock-on?
Knock-on by Salford. Yeah,
there was a knock-on by Salford.
Wakefield, so it's a Wakefield ball here, 0 tackle. Knock-on by Salford.
We're going to scrum to Wakefield.
It's a Wakefield ball, 0 tackle. Jacob Miller. Jacob to play the ball.
I think it's on. Was it on the last tackle, Stu? So it's a turnover.
It's a 0 tackle. Just wait. Just wait.
Held up over the line and a knock-on, so that's why he's brought it back.
Go.
I'm sure he said 0 tackle. Here is Justin Horrow.
Move! Hold.
8 minutes to the half-time siren. Finn. Paulie.
2. Move, Ben! Go 2.
Wood. And Hubie. The big men are trundling this ball forward for Wakefield. Al Wood gives it some space and finds Liam Finn. He then finds Justin Horrow. They do well, Salford, to keep him out. Reece Lynn is waiting.
4.
Back into centre field it goes to Finn. On the angle run is Paulie.
5. Move.
Last tackle coming up for Wakefield. Took the responsibility himself. Released the pass though, did Wood, to find Reece Lynn. Lynn dabs it to the in-goal area. The ball's all over the shop. It's another knock-on, I think. Is it another knock-on by Salford?
Good weight on this kick from Lynn. On the last play, dinks it through, looking for his teammate Miller. And there's a knock-on here, more pressure again. Wakefield will get the ball back.
He's actually aimed for the post there, I think. That's smart on the run as well.
You've got to have decent weight and decent contact on the kick. You can't panic. You've got players in front of you. You've got a lot of things going through your mind. Your teammates shouting, get rid of it, it's the last play.
Heads in, arms over, Josh. Arms over, please.
So knock on by Salford. Scrum down, head and feed Wakefield, 10 metres out. I think this is the third consecutive set of 6 coming at Salford. And Reece Lynn going for the line early and being forced back and just managing to stay in the field of play. Ben Jones-Bishop is there. He fires the pass to Griggs. Griggs then to Horrow.
Craig, move! Hold.
Kyle Wood.
Go.
They're 10 metres out again. This is Finn. Finn with a reverse pass.
Move,
Paulie will get to his feet and loses the ball.
In his haste to get up there, well, he's not going to sidestep Paulie. He'll tuck the ball under his wing, but again, he knows what's on. He knows where he is. He tries to play the ball as quick as he can for Kyle Wood. He's expecting something to be over on that left-hand side, but he just can't keep control of that ball.
I'm looking forward to seeing him get used to the pace of Super League, get himself a little bit fitter, a little bit match fitter.
You wouldn't be if you had to play against him.
Hands over, Liam, second row, Kyle. Heads.
At 45.
Okay, ball, Jack.
6 minutes, or thereabouts, 5.5 minutes to half-time. The only score of the match coming in the 6th minute. Scott Griggs and Liam Finn added the extras. Tyrone McCarthy is being checked out. Some problem with the neck by the looks of things, Ange.
Yeah, it is. You saw as he went over the line with that ball, or not the ball on, he seemed to go down and hurt his neck, but he's having a little bit of a massage there, and I've asked him how he's feeling. He said, oh, he's fine, he'll be fine to go back on.
This is Logan Tompkins, meanwhile, for Salford.
Move, Danny!
Tyrone McCarthy.
Go. Paulino square!
Louis and Horaki.
Surrender, 5! Stand.
48 metres out. Angry with the tackle that was just put in on him. Nice kick down the line by Gareth O'Brien.
And you think, well, Haraki's rattled in this game. Every time that something seems to happen, whether he's defending, whether he's carrying the ball, he's looking round at the referee.
He's a very passionate player, Wella Haraki. One of 4 captains. Mark Flanagan not playing. Tyrone McCarthy sat on the sideline. And Wella Haraki, along with Lee Mossop, 2 players that will get stuck in, get in the line and really set that platform.
Now, if Salford can get through this next 3 and a bit minutes and keep this score to 6-0, I think Ian Watson will be much the happier coach. I think they've been dominated around the ruck. they've looked devoid of ideas, really, for the majority of this first half of football, and yet they only find themselves one score behind.
Griggs gets it away to Reece Lynn, a hand in the face of one. Here goes Ben Jones-Bishop, he's got support inside him from Justin Horrow. Looks like a commentator's curse perhaps for John Wells here, because Ben Jones-Bishop, no, scrambling defence by Salford. Was he tackled? Well, yes, he was, says the referee. Liam Finn to Horrow. Horrow looping pass into centre field. It keeps going again to Danny Kermond just on the pitch. This is scrambling defence from Salford that is out of the top draw. They've conceded the penalty though.
They'll take the two just before half-time. Desperately, Salford are willing to give that penalty away. It was lovely play over on the right. They've had a real battle all evening, Reece Lynn and Junior South. But Reece Lynn releases his winger. Ben Jones-Bishop, nice bit of work from the second row. Passes it inside to Liam Finn. Ben Jones-Bishop meets some Salford defenders. Great work from both sides.
Yes, he was tackled all right, Ben Jones-Bishop. And Kermond was tackled as well. But then, interference to try to slow the play down. No wonder Salford on the back foot, and they've conceded the penalty, and Liam Finn says we'll have another two maybe to take into half-time.
Well, given the switch off, I think they'll be happy with 8-0 down. I'll revise my estimate, Eddie.
It was nearly 12. As it is, it's 8. Liam Finn with the penalty goal. He began tonight needing 7 points for 500 in Super League. He's got 4 of them. So 3 more from Liam Finn, and it's a personal milestone. Captain of Ireland in the World Cup, Liam Finn. Real character.
Just showed them what they could do as well, didn't they, Edwin? As soon as Reece Lynn had made that initial break, Horrow's in support, Finn's in support, Ben Jones-Bishop in support on the outside. The guys are streaming through. This is a side who are playing, notwithstanding that the scoreline is a little tighter than I think the golfing quality would suggest from the first half. This is a side that's enjoying themselves.
They are, but you also have to give a little credit to Salford's defence.
I was just about to say that was excellent attack, fabulous attack, but what great desire and determination in defence to get back and prevent the opposition from scoring a try when you're broken.
Well, they've just shy of 2 minutes to survive, Salford, and keep it down to 8-0 and regroup for the second half. This is going to be another penalty. Logan Tompkins completely entangled himself with Paulie.
Well, you do that on purpose, Eddie, when you know that there's a big man carrying the ball and you can't control him. He's fighting to get up. You're trying to make it as sloppy as you can. Unfortunately, give the penalty away. You try and get the numbers in, but even when you try and get the numbers in on Paulie, he brushes them aside and lands on his front.
James Charles just asked Salford to tidy up things around the ruck. Well, this is a chance then for Wakefield to add to the score. They've got 1 minute and 20, so they're going to get the full set of 6. Johnson dummy half. Here's Danny Kermond, skipper of the club, off the bench, member of the 2013 Dream Team. He had a great year that year, been a great servant to the club. Liam Finn, Reece Lynn, high shot, another penalty. Will they take the 2 on offer inside the last minute?
I think they will.
No, they won't.
They're going to tap it. They're going. Wow, I thought they'd go for the 2 points then.
4 penalties in a row for Wakefield.
Move! Okay.
Still 40 seconds remaining. What happened there? Knock on is what happened there.
You can't blame them for tapping it. Wakefield, they've been testing, and there's no doubt Salford have dipped in and out of this game, but when they've had the ball, they've looked good, they've felt confident. And I agree with you, Wells, they look like they're having a good time when they're playing with the ball.
And they'll get a final shot as well. There's a knock-on by Chris Wellham at the ruck.
If he's square, he's all right.
A defensive knock-on.
Well, Chris Wellham is the man who is judged to have knocked it down, and so Jacob Miller will have head and feed. If all else fails with 29 seconds remaining, I wonder whether we'll get a 1-pointer. Liam Finn, Bill Tupu. Down he goes on the first tackle. 20 seconds the first half remaining. They shuttle the ball into centre field. They will. Then they'll give it to Hubie to have a run. They might get one more go. And here it comes with Liam Finn. Flicks it out the back door, surrenders possession to Logan Tompkins. I think they've gifted them 2 points in many ways, Salford there, because they could have taken the kick at goal. They didn't. They settled for an 8-point lead at half-time. It's pretty tight. It's Wakefield's attack, more or less, against Salford's defence in that first half. And it's almost just about even, to be fair. Grix with the try. After 6 minutes, Finn managed the conversion, and then he slotted over one penalty goal 3 minutes from half-time. 8-0, Wakefield Trinity lead against the Salford Red Devils. Half-time report is next. Yeah, fantastic news that was announced yesterday. The NRL is back live on Sky Sports in 2018, taking our total of matches this year to 200. And it will also include the State of Origin series, the grand final from Australia, test matches from down under as well, the whole box and dice. The NRL back where it belongs here on Sky Sports this year. And coming up over the next few days, an absolute feast of football for you. Tomorrow from the EFL Championship, it's Sheffield United against Leeds United. That's midday, Sky Sports football. On Sunday, also from the Championship, Aston Villa against Birmingham, the big derby, 11:30, Sky Sports football again. But here in the Betfred Super League at the Mobile Rocket Stadium, the home of the Wakefield Trinity side, we have a half-time situation of Wakefield 8, Salford Red Devils 0. Let's look back at some of the important moments of that first half with Terry and John. Wakefield's attack against Salford's defence, we said.
Well, they certainly did well to get this. I love it when wingers catch the ball, they don't panic. A nice controlled offload, and Tupu, look at that, just kept his foot off the ground before going into touch. Good skill, everything's at the line. The show and go from the experienced Grix. Well, that's the only try of the opening 40 minutes. They come ever so close. The kicking game's always going to cause problems. Jacob Miller just getting the ball back here, getting held up over the line or losing the ball. It's a good effort from Wakefield, but Salford back in this game.
Yep, very nearly some more points for the Trinity side. Riesling breaking from deep. Ben Jones-Bishop on the outside. This is what we were talking about during the game. Lots of backup, lots of support. But at the end of the day, despite all this, and despite the dominance, in my view, of the Wakefield Trinity side, it's credit to Salford that they managed to scramble and restrict Wakefield to just the 2 additional points, those coming from the boot of Liam Finn, courtesy of this penalty for holding Danny Kerman down. 8-0. It's not a convincing lead, but it's comfortable on the field.
And you think, John, that Ian Watson would be the more happy of the two coaches as we see Chris Chester delivering the half-time message?
Yeah, ironically, he's obviously not be happy about being behind, but whilst the Wakefield dressing room will maybe ruin opportunities missed, the Salford dressing room will certainly be saying that, you know, this could have been a lot worse in their quiet moments. Ian Watson will be trying to get them up for this second half, trying to get more involvement for the likes of Josh Jones, Tyrone McCarthy, Wella Haraki in the back row. That's key for them. But I think overall he'll be fairly pleased.
It was Michael Monaghan, actually, who was delivering the half-time speech for Wakefield, wasn't it? The new man alongside Chris.
Well, Michael Monaghan, Chris Chester, Ian Watson, you've got some very good coaches, haven't you? And Willie Poaching now talking some of the forwards. So we've got some intelligent coaches leading the troops. Who's going to inspire the team to come out and perform well? It was all about Wakefield the opening 20 minutes. Salford seemed to lift a gear when they backed themselves and they got into positions. They certainly did fancy the chances. I think what Salford have gained confidence from, Eddie, is the way that they've defended when they've been broken.
Well, they'll also have a little bit of confidence as well from the history books, because 25 wins in Super League against Salford from 42 meetings. Now then, a quick mention for you of man of the match. Again, this is the way that we're doing it this year. This season, the man of the match being chosen by fans via the Our League app. A panel of former rugby league greats will be choosing 4 candidates. The voting will open a little bit later on for the Betfred Super League Man of the Match award tonight. People in the ground can take part, people at home can take part, watching on the TV, of course. It's your choice this year to decide who is the man of the match during the Sky Sports games. And I wonder who you have had your eye on in this first half. We'll open the voting later, but right now we're off for a break and we'll be back shortly for the whole of the second half live. The Leeds Rhinos are on their way to Australia. They face the Melbourne Storm in the World Club Challenge next Friday morning, 8:30 on Sky Sports Arena. And in a weekend of international rugby league, St George Illawarra against Hull is on Saturday at 6:30, and South Sydney against Wigan 8:40 the same morning. Sky Sports Arena and main event for those two. Let's hope Leeds bring the trophy home. Here now, though, we are looking to take another step on the road to Old Trafford 2018 and a possible World Club Challenge for somebody in 2019 as Wakefield recommence their battle with the Salford Red Devils here at the Mobile Rocket Stadium. It's Salford in blue tonight, attacking from left to right as we watch. Craig Kopchak takes them to the 40-metre line.
They'll be looking at building up some sets of 6, because it's quite a conservative start from them.
Oh, a little knock-on has been seen by James Child from Logan Tompkins.
Makabawai, as he's getting up to play the ball, he's going for the quick play of the ball, he just can't get it down.
Was it his knock-on? Yes, it was. I'm sorry, Logan, I had the mistake. It was a tick against your name. Instead, it was Ben Nakambawai, the Fijian international in the World Cup, Super League debut.
Tazzy's getting up, Eddie's going to plant the ball down. He plants it on a Wakefield's defender's knee. That's where he loses it.
Wakefield then with head and feed. And in possession with Bill Tupu. Is a real handful, isn't he, Tupu, to put down.
Hold.
And Grix was the dummy half. Miller. Good news for Wakefield. The big man is A-OK to carry on. Past the head test. What a run that was from Paulie. You have to be brave to get low down against him.
Stopped in his tracks though, wasn't he? Again by Nakambawai.
Danny Kermond.
Straight into him.
Kyle Wood will come down the left-hand side. Here's Paulie again. New South Wales under-20s player in 2014. He was. Miller, nice little deft kick, and it bounced very kindly in the end, but it was a bit of a clatter on Jake Bibby.
And it was a high shot, wasn't it? As Jake Bibby gets this ball back again. Nice kick from Jacob Miller, but he's the man who makes contact. He goes up. The initial contact was around the chest, but then it rises up around the neck.
On the foot,
well, former Wigan hooker Logan Tompkins out there for Salford tonight. Brothers Joel and Sam already down under in Australia, because tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning they make history with Hull FC. They play the first ever Super League match outside of Europe. Joel and Sam might be watching this right now on Fox Sports live in Australia. It's Wigan against Hull in the Betfred Super League in Australia. Wollongong tomorrow morning. Don't miss that. A little bit of history. And a great initiative by the Wigan Warriors and Hull FC.
And they're predicting a big crowd as well. I'm not sure what the Aussies will make when those British fans start singing and chanting and creating their own unique atmosphere.
This is O'Brien for the Salford Red Devils. Wigan, of course, take the name of the Wigan Warriors to Australia. They're a very famous club in their own right.
0
Worldwide, Wigan, in terms of rugby league, and they're playing for the Kenny Sterling Trophy as well, after Brett Kenny and Peter Sterling.
Yeah, and they've really honoured those two players. I know in the
as well as the 2 points, by the way.
As well as the 2 points, and any competition involving those two rugby league teams will be hotly contested. But a nice touch, I think, just remembering two fantastic rugby league players on both sides of the hemisphere.
Yes, and they played for the clubs, didn't they, in that 1985 Classic Wembley final. Brett Kenny, Peter Sterling, Parramatta teammates, but they were on opposite sides of the fence that particular afternoon. It was a fantastic match. Paulie was the man who played the ball to Wood. He found Finn and he gets the ball away to Justin Horrow. Scott Griggs, Liam Finn, Irish colleagues in the World Cup. That's a good kick. And on the ground it's flicked by the boot. Here is Paulie. He's giving it to Danny Kermond. Again, they scramble back, and Paulie puts the ball down.
Oh, I thought he was in
Salford
for his first
scrambling
foul.
so well.
Well, it was an unusual kick. It almost went too shallow. There was a scramble with Wakefield players. And big Paulie, he's going to enjoy his rugby league over here. Very attacking style of play that we have in Super League. He'll get his hands on the ball more often than not. All he's got to do is keep hold of his chips.
Hold.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, I think Salford will be a lot happy with the start to their second half. They've looked a lot more composed. They've marched Wakefield down the field on a couple of occasions. They're actually forcing Wakefield into some defensive indiscretion, shall we say. Another high shot.
Sorry, you can't win, can you?
Well, let's get the half-time news, shall we? While Danny Kermond's just checked out by the physio. Angela?
Yeah, in terms of the Salford the half-time news, as you were just mentioning, John, yeah, I think they'll be a bit happy with the start here. They got a foothold into the game a bit late on in that half after a slow start. But really, it's about the long game here. It's about having a lot of patience and making sure they take their chances when they get them. And that's exactly what Chris Chester wants as well. He's happy with their defence. They need to be more clinical in attack. Those chances on the line have to be taken and get the points on the board.
Well, there's one chance already gone down for Wakefield.
Hold.
He's got to be the biggest man in Super League, Paulie.
No, he's a big lad.
Surrender.
Would be saying that if you and Barry were still out there.
Stand. Hold.
He's massive compared to me and Barry, trust me.
There's Nakambawa.
David Fafita's a big man as well. It's not till you see him and stand at the side of him. 6'3", 115, 16 kgs.
Good hands, and here's a chance for Bibby. Bibby down the side. It's Wakefield's turn to scramble in defence. Oh, they can't stop Robert Louis. That's a soft try. Miller was caught out of his position then at dummy half. And Robert Louis, well, he won't score an easier try than that. The marker wasn't placed. Jacob Miller was all over the shop. There was no one there supporting him either. And Robert Louis just danced his way to the line.
Well, one of the standouts, isn't he, Robert Louis? Some good build-up play here. Again, it's Robert Louis. Bit more depth on that play from Gareth O'Brien. They were getting caught out in the first half when the wingers were jamming in, closing down that play. Well, that's not good enough, though. You've got to make sure that you're set. You know exactly what's what. Don't leave yourself exposed and run away from the ruck. Jacob Miller couldn't be set, and that's where the gap was.
Yeah, it's Scott Griggs who's he's got himself out of that marker position because he's a fullback. He's trying to think of the threat on the inside of the field. Unfortunately, Jacob Miller's stuck in around the ruck and tied down. Robert Louis, well, he's smart. He was Johnny on the spot and he took advantage. It's the first time that that Wakefield edge defence has got it wrong. They've got the timing slightly wrong. Yes, a little deeper from the Red Devils, and that's made all the difference.
Well, here comes Gareth O'Brien with a very difficult conversion attempt, just about 12 inches or so in from the touchline on this near side. He got 2 goals last week in the defeat against Wigan. And just the wrong side of the posts. Just the wrong side. But the important thing from Salford is they're on the board. It's 8-4 now.
Well, that should give them a confidence boost now.
That's terrible defence.
It is terrible defence, Eddie, and it's probably down to the fact that Scott Griggs needs to think about what's happening next. I completely agree. The ball is the threat. That's the old mantra in rugby league. He can't afford to turn round and think where the ball will end up. But I'm going to compliment Salford.
He's made an assumption there, hasn't he, about the man outside him being able to regain his position. But yeah, credit Salford and credit Louis. Saw the opportunity and took it.
Craig Kopjak carts the ball back on the first tackle from the kickoff. Here goes Luke Burgess again, puffing the cheeks out, having a go at those 3 Wakefield defenders.
They're running a little bit harder now. They've got that boost, they've got that confidence. Nice footwork.
Move, Craig. Go, free.
Nakambawa with that run. Here goes Josh Jones. Just a little bit of confidence is starting to flow through to the Salford side now. They did all that defence in the first half. They kept Wakefield down to 8 points, and here they are now 8-4 adrift. Really is game on here tonight at the Mobile Rocket. High kick. Griggs is underneath it. Claims it. Sow will get to him first as he falls.
Big set of 6 from Salford after they score that try, and a big boost for them will be that Fafita's left the field along with Paulie. So the Salford forwards will really back the chances to just keep marching Wakefield down the field.
This is Reece Lynn for Wakefield.
Get square. Hold.
Haraki has been busy all night. Tupu.
Move. Hold. Go.
Good play the ball. Johnson. Burgess to him first.
5. Move then. Come on. Go.
Wood and Liam Finn.
Give 10 minutes.
Obviously going to kick on the last. Oh, and through the arms of O'Brien, and a knock-on is the decision.
It's a real shame for the Red Devils.
Where's the knock-on?
He's got his positioning wrong. Well, I guess these days you class there's any fumble there, unless it's 100% back, you're going to give that as an error in handling, and I think that's fair enough as well. It's a hammer blow for Salford, because I thought they consolidated the try with a 100-metre set and worked really well.
I think you look at something like that, and the referee will take into account the fact that Gareth O'Brien's moving forward when he tries to catch that ball, and will judge that the ball travelled towards the opposition line.
Well, Gareth O'Brien's not really making a lot of complaints to the referee. I think he's very disappointed in his effort. Ultimately, you look at the players for the answers on that one.
Here then is a chance for Wakefield and Reece Lynn. Can they respond to conceding that soft try? Start of this second half. Anthony England with a rumbustious run to the 10-metre line. Wood again looks for the runners. It's Danny Kermond. Knock on. Salford defends stoutly again.
Just watch the players get around Logan Tompkins there. He's up against a much bigger man, but at the point where Danny Kermond is trying to find the floor on his landing gear and his forearms, elbows, he's just flipped onto his side. Loses control.
That's a team that's up for the game in defence, isn't it? When they all come in, they force an error from that man Danny Kermond. They all come in congratulating the teammates.
It's also a team in attack that's starting to rush things. Kermond losing control of the ball there it's a symptom of trying to play too fast. There's a little bit of doubt now that's crept into this Trinity side, and that's been put there by a Salford Red Devils side that's growing in confidence.
And Junior Sow trying to take them away from their own end of the field.
Move. Hold.
Didn't make the World Cup 2017, Junior Sow, but that was high. Craig Hubie caught.
Well, it's footwork at the line from Lee Mossop. You can just see the late change. It comes off his elbow. and it rides up. It looked a lot worse than what it actually was. But he's put in that situation because of the footwork from Mossop at the line.
There's Junior Sao again. Just let me finish that point. It was in the World Cup in 2013 for Samoa, not this year though. No, not last year for Samoa. Logan Tompkins then, just over halfway. And Lamatazi again. Missed the last 7 last year after playing all but 1 of the first 27. Nakambawai to his feet, plays it to Tompkins, goes the left-hand side. Little John, O'Brien, Josh Jones. Quick play the ball. O'Brien, Little John again. Drops the ball off. Lamatazi will take them on. Tompkins once again, down the left-hand side, on the short side. Short ball from Little John. Josh Jones, hands are free, gets the ball back. Little John once again. Little John stabs the ball to the in-goal area. It's not a bad kick either, and Johnson has work to do and can't do it.
Some good work from Josh Jones. I don't think we've seen Josh Jones play the ball this evening. He's looking to get the ball away all the time. It's excellent work off the back from Salford. Good chase, and they start to build some pressure.
Tom, don't throw.
And again, they look dangerous when Gareth O'Brien and Little John and Robert Louis get hold of the ball. But again, you feel that Salford need to be near Wakefield's try line.
Well, they're getting the goal line dropout here, courtesy of good work in defence from Jake Bibby. Not letting Tom Johnson out of the in-goal area. And Griggs' dropout finds Louis. And they will begin this set then. 25 metres out.
Hold!
Go. Tompkins into centre field. Louis, Mossop bumpers her up. Struggling for ground, getting them to within 19 metres of the Wakefield line. Tompkins again. Back it comes to O'Brien. Short ball then to Haraki.
Matty, move!
Try has done wonders for the confidence of Salford. Tompkins. Robert Louis into the arms of O'Brien. He gets it further wide to Sao, and Niall Evalds is in, and the score's a level. Super try from Salford that. Small band of supporters who've travelled over here, and Ian Watson barking the instructions down the microphone. Niall Evalds, he got a try from full-back last week against Wigan, a try in the wing tonight here against Wakefield. 8 apiece.
Clean hands, Eddie. Robert Louis does some damage, and you can just see that pass to Junior Sao, who attracts the defenders. You just have a little look up at what Ben Jones-Bishop does. He holds on to Junior Sao. He loses sight of where Niall Evalds is, and the space was out wide for the Salford wingman.
Well, that try's been building for 2 or 3 minutes. They're starting to pay attention to all the small pieces of their jigsaw puzzle. Good kick chase, attention to detail. In the end, it looked a little bit simple. It was just space created on the edge for Evalds, but worked for the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, he knows where the try line is, Niall Evalds. 62 tries in 90 now for the Salford Red Devils. 77 starts.
He's had a shave.
Yes. The Devil has lost the hindmost. No, the Devil has lost his tash and his beard this year.
Is it me, lads, or do you think the Salford forwards seem to be running an awful lot harder in the second half?
They are. Now then, this is a better angle on the better side of the field for O'Brien. Can he kick this goal, and can he give Salford the lead? He can't. Did he just dip underneath the crossbar, that?
Just didn't have the legs. Evalds, well, he got the try, but for me, the man who made the try is the man who just missed a conversion attempt. So this is the value of having a real ball-playing fullback in your back line. His timing is perfect. The ball to Junior Sao was great. Junior Sao just had to find his wingman to dot across in the corner, and we've got a game on now.
Yes, we have. 8 apiece. Victories here for Salford have been rare. Of their 15 Super League wins against Wakefield in Super League, only 3 and a draw, 23 all in 2013, have come on this ground from 20 visits.
Go, you're contributing.
So it's not the happiest of hunting grounds for Salford, but they are bossing this second half so far. 8 all, 2 tries from them. And Nakambawai taking it forward. Playing the ball here to Tompkins. Tazi takes it forward again.
Second carry for Tazi, and that's 6.
Josh Jones, certainly the forwards getting more and more involved, no doubt about that. And there's Little John with the kick to the corner. Not bad, not bad, he buys the ground.
It seems that they've stripped the game plan back. Right, lads, we're going to have to do the hard work here. You forwards, you just get me forward. I'll get to the kick, I'll place it in the corner. The outside backs will chase really hard. Let's go back to our basics. And Little John, who just steps up, the forwards are laying the platform and he's kicking the ball and placing it where he wants to.
Yeah, boys. Just keep your rucks tidy. I don't want to talk to you all night. Just keep your rucks tidy.
So the scrum will form.
Arms over, second row.
And Salford will hunt the mistake here from Wakefield. Got to go the full length of the field.
1, move, hold, hold.
They lost a lot of key figures this winter, you know. And they have to cope without some glamour signings. And Manu Vatavai is out for the entire season for Salford. He had an Achilles tendon injury pre-season in training, and he's out for the entire 2018 campaign. That was a hammer blow. He was the marquee player. But they have they've come here tonight and they've decided to roll the sleeves up and get their hands dirty.
They've had to adjust really quickly as well. I think that injury was only in the last couple of weeks, I think. So there's a lot of changes that have gone round in this back line for Salford. They're handling it really well at the moment.
Now then, can they get the ball away from their own line this time? It's a good chase from Wakefield.
Well, it's a big set as well for Salford now. You can see a number of the players walking back. They need to get back behind the line. I know you wait for 2 or 3 players for your outside backs to bring the ball forward. And there's a shot here now from Anthony England on Junior South. He's been where the action has been all night, Junior South. The powerful little pocket rocket. Runs really hard. He's an aggressive player. He's not the biggest, and he's not scared of any player in front of him.
This is what you were saying in the last set, Terry. They've stripped it back, they've stripped the style of play, they've changed and adjusted the style of play. A lot more direct, a lot closer to the ruck, and with a lot more purpose. These Salford players are now finding their front. That was just the latest example. And they're getting the yards because of it and getting the penalties, or the extra yards through penalties because of it.
In the first half we saw consecutive penalties, 4 of them to Wakefield. We have now seen 4 consecutive penalties going Salford's way in the second 40.
Well, that only happens, Eddie. You only give penalties away when you feel that you're under pressure, when you feel that you've got to stop the opposition. And really, if we're honest, they just seem to be getting over the top of Wakefield again, trying to make the ruck as messy as they can. The second effort from the Wakefield defenders, they know they're getting beat round the ruck. When you're getting beat round the ruck, the opposition team just keeps on coming forward, playing off the back of quick play the balls.
Well, they've piggybacked their way upfield here on the back of 2 penalties.
Discipline, I've just spoken to you then.
And Chris Wellham will restart this, 20 metres away. There's the big fella, Big Ben, Nakambawai. Tompkins into centre field to Louis. Louis then to Little John. It's Josh Jones again. And Ryan Hampshire trying to hang on to Josh Jones. And he almost gets to the line. Logan Tompkins says it was over the line, sir. And James Charles said, no, he's short, so play on. And that's what they're doing with Louis. Nakambawai again, and down he goes underneath the shadow of those Wakefield posts. Tompkins waits. Lee Mossop. Good defence from Wakefield.
Hold. Go.
Tompkins. Louis. Horaki again.
Fine move, Anthony. Hold.
Tick in the box for Wakefield if they withstand this. Little John, deft little kick towards the in-goal area. Oh, he was nudged out of the way there, wasn't he, by Justin Horrow?
I agree with you. I think he was taken out. Justin Horrow just seemed to
turned his back
into him,
and gave a bit of weight.
2, move, hold.
Maybe not.
I think he's entitled to be standing there, isn't he?
Here's a penalty now for Wakefield.
Lee Mossop, and they have Wakefield on the back foot. But again, they're just trying to do exactly the same. Slow it down, make sure that you can get your defensive line set with the referee, you can get a bit tighter. You're not scrambling everywhere and presenting the opposition with gaps.
We should just explain a little bit. During your tackle technique, you've got to get your contact right. Then there's an element of wrestle, but it's all done before it hits the floor. And when it starts getting involved, when players start getting involved, when their opposition is on the floor, that's when penalties will come.
So 2 penalties in quick succession. It was 4 without reply for Salford. Now they've had 2 in a row, have Wakefield. And there's Ryan Hampshire. Hands it on to Hubie. Hubie's looking for another penalty there. Felt that was a bit high from Logan Tompkins. Not given. England will charge it forward.
Move all the way.
This is a good old-fashioned game of rugby league, Eddie.
They're getting stuck into each other now, no doubt about that. Miller, short ball. Horrow. Reece Lynn, Junior Sow quickly out of defence.
That's been a great battle on that edge, hasn't it, all evening?
Hampshire again. That could have been high. By the go, Ben Jones-Bishop boots the ball. Oh, and I think Junior Sow has put that out.
I agree, Eddie.
They're going to get this head and feed, Wakefield.
Ben Jones-Bishop puts a kick in, it lands on the floor. Junior Sow, I don't think he knows where that ball is. It ends up as he's walking forward. Oh.
Bit of panic sets in as well. You don't know where the Wakefield player is. He's got his back towards all the players, and Reece Lynn was there. He was around the vicinity, not taking any chances then.
Ben Jones-Bishop was quick to point out to the touch judge that it was off Sow, and he made a play for it. I mean, the foot went towards the ball. It was almost a step, wasn't it? It was sort of uncontrolled. He couldn't stop himself.
Yeah, instinctive, I think, if nothing else. But it's given Wakefield another good look at this line.
And there is Miller. Oh, and quick hands to Tom Johnson, trying to cut inside Wellham. He gets clattered to the ground again. There's Tom Johnson.
He did well to recover then, Chris Wellham, to get Johnson.
Tupu off the ground finds Miller. Miller then into centre field to Arona. It's a real roughhouse of a battle now, and Finn at the play the ball. Now, drive forward by Hubie. Fierce defence on show from both sides. Finn to Miller. Miller gets the ball away. Good tackle once again by Robert Louis on Ashurst. Here is Tupu. Tupu gets the ball away. It's now with Miller again. Miller to Anthony England. England, well, maybe he thought about the return pass from Horrow. Horrow hung on. Reece Lynn takes on his opposite number, Junior Sow. 5 tackles gone, last one coming. Kick might be important here. Hampshire gets the kick away eventually. Oh, how about that? What a try from Miller. What a kick from Hampshire. Was he onside? Salford are in the face of James Child. And the referee has had a little word with his touch judge who says, just check. They have a try on the field, though. They obviously should have to check onside, offside.
That's it, onside. It was a very flat, quick kick across the field. And I think there you can see the evidence that he is behind and he is onside. Kick is clearly in front. Providing he's caught that and grounded it correctly, it'll be a try, because he's certainly onside from what I've seen.
There looks some panic in that kick, but fair play to him.
That's a try. This one will be confirmed.
So I think Jacob Miller's going to get the green light. Well, it's a white light, and try is given.
It's an opportune try, and it's been really well taken by Jacob Miller. But a word, please, for the substitute Ryan Hampshire. All came from the error from Junior Sow's foot, the instinctive left foot more than anything else. The Wakefield took advantage. It was Lee Mossop who came charging out of the line. And what about that for a bit of improvisation? Caught on the full, dotted down. Miller knows he scored.
Ryan Hampshire began his rugby league career at Normanton, just around these parts. He was a half-back, he's been flirted all around the place, but he wants to play, he wants to get involved, and he's just set up a try for his team.
So here we go, Liam Finn then to try and add the extras, which he does from not too far under the posts. And it's time for your votes, please, for the man of the match this season. The man of the match award is being chosen by you, the fans, via the Our League app. The panel of former rugby league greats have been putting their heads together and they've chosen 4 candidates. Voting is now open and we will announce the man of the match as usual at the end of this game. The Betfred man of the match voting now is in your hands. Off you go.
This game's not over yet. Still over 15 minutes to go. Salford still well and truly in this competition.
I'm not prepared to write Salford off, even though they've been second best for many phases of this game. They're still finding a way to get back in.
It's been their second half though, Barry.
Yeah.
So it's 14-8 to Wakefield. We've got a quarter of an hour left. Man of the match voting underway. Some candidates now, aren't there? Hampshire gets the ball away to Justin Horrow. He then finds Rhys Lynn, and Salford again scramble their way back in defence. Liam Finn. Big Craig Hubie. Good offload. Liam Finn. Miller, try scorer. Arona.
Move, Robbie! Hold.
To give your fullback some protection here if it goes high.
High kick. Gareth O'Brien does well. Tupu timed his challenge to perfection.
Well, as soon as that ball goes up in the air, Chris Wellham come across the Wakefield defenders trying to protect Gareth O'Brien. And again, just look at Wakefield now. They've got the line speed. 65 minutes gone, but they know that Salford is still a threat in this game.
Right, the 4 candidates for the man of the match award tonight. Grix, Finn, Louis and Horaki. They're the 4 names that are in the melting pot for the Betfred man of the match tonight. What do you think, fellas?
Scott Grix, I think, has played well for Wakefield. Very, very solid at the back, as we see again. Always in the right position. Very low error rate. Chipped in with a try. Lovely, nice touches as well. Solid candidate for me.
Would have liked to have seen one of the big forwards in there, Eddie.
Well, you always would.
Well, the way that this game...
What's Horaki, by the way? What's Horaki? Isn't he a forward?
He's got you there, Tess.
One of the big forwards.
So come on, you've got Grix, Finn, Louis or Horaki. Where's your money running?
Louis, Horaki. I think I've been very impressed with both of those.
You're going for an each-way bet then, okay.
I think we'll see who the man of the match is in the crucial parts of this game.
No, you won't, because it's one of those 4.
We'll see which one of those 4.
5, move.
Yeah, well dug out, Barry. Yeah. Well dug out. At least you had a slight opinion, unlike this fellow alongside me here.
It's tailor-made for somebody like Scott Grix, this game. Somebody to get a hold of it, take control. Jacob Miller with his kicking game, he can certainly help. Just takes away the fizz of this game. Lets everybody get a little bit of a breather, walk to the scrum, some communication and setting the stall out.
I'll tell you what else as well for Scott Grix. He's an experienced campaigner now, probably in the twilight years of his career, and has had to overcome that mental problem that would have surrounded him for the, I'm trying to think of a kind word, the days following the mistake on this ground that was the difference essentially between Wakefield being 4th and 5th. And for someone to come back and show the mental strength and fortitude to be contributing at a level immediately the next year, dust yourself off, go again, that's worth something in its own right.
He's very good, mentally very strong, and we could probably point the finger at that try, that Robert Louis try as well, but Scott Grix is the type of bloke that will just thrive on that. Loves proving people wrong, Grix it.
Here's Robert Louis again. One of the man of the match contenders, Josh Wood. That looked always forward to Josh Jones, and Wakefield stopped.
Well, he even held his line then. Jones, he thought that pass went forward himself.
Last tackle here, Louis with the kick, high into the night sky. Grix underneath this. He's taken out by Tyrone McCarthy.
Well, that's how brave he is, isn't it, at the back? You know what you're going to get from the old campaigner, Scott Grix. He's not even worried about what's in front of him. he just keeps focusing on that job of catching the ball on the full, even though he's under pressure from Tyrone McCarthy.
That is a basic mistake and all. Tyrone McCarthy is better than that. He's in the general vicinity, needs to be better and pull out of that.
Line, guys, line. On the foot, wait, go.
So Tupu trying to work the ball downfield for Wakefield. Move. Salford have got 10.5 minutes to rescue at least a point. Fifita.
2 off the ball.
Carts it forward again. Finn.
Turn, move. Hold.
They're on halfway.
Go.
Wakefield. Finn was the dummy half. This is Hubie.
4. Well, a move. Go.
Whoever wins tonight deserves it. It's been a real battle, a real slog. This is Miller. Jacob Miller.
5. Move. We're
Caught
back.
by 2 defenders again.
Go, you're grabbing him, Jacob.
Lee Mossop was one of them. Liam Finn out to the far side. Lovely kick. Ball's free. The ball, I think, has been knocked on, though, and I think it might have been knocked on the floor again by Ryan Hampshire. This will be interesting.
Last tackle.
There's a whole host of things
got no try
to sort out.
Check for
No try.
air,
I think that's probably the right call, Stuart. What do you think?
Well, there was certainly a knock-on as they were going over. I think it's probably more about how to restart the game more than anything else on this one. Again, it's from a kick. Chases on the right-hand side are all onside. So what happens here? It certainly looks like it's comes backwards off Wakefield.
Was it not touched by Ben Jones-Bishop?
This will probably tell us better. Perhaps not. It certainly comes backwards out of that challenge off a Wakefield player. And again, trying to see if there's any contact by Ben Jones-Bishop. Doesn't look like it there.
No, so you think that's play on then, Stuart?
Looks like it's play on from that point. As this shows, past that angle shows us that his hand is in there, and there's a knock on by Ben Jones-Bishop. This one shows us it touches his left hand and goes forward. So
well, Ben Taylor's the video referee, let me remind everyone at home.
So I think that's all we need. We've seen the knock on, and it'll be a handover, I think.
We know it's going to be no try, and that's exactly what it is.
No try, knock on, it's a turnover. Play the ball.
So
turnover.
Salford get possession because it's the turnover. It was the last tackle.
I just feel that Salford need a penalty.
Okay.
They've obviously got 90 metres to go here.
Lee Mossop takes it forward.
Hold.
You need a spark, don't you? You felt when Ryan Hampshire came on, he added a spark. The game picked up the pace. Not sure who's going to do that for the Salford team.
Turn, move.
Might be Robert Louis.
Good run from Tyrone McCarthy.
Or are they going to build, if it's a victory, on a solid rather than spectacular input?
Josh Jones takes it over halfway for Salford. 4 tackles gone. Junior Sow to Little John. Little John gets the ball away to Sow again. Sow gives it to Evalds. Evalds fly hacks the ball forward. It's mopped up once more by Scott Grix.
A couple of times they've been caught out on the last play, Salford, in this game. Someone needs to step up, take control on those sorts of plays.
Tom Johnson goes down 30 metres away from his own line.
Okay. Turn, move, get square.
Again, solid enough defence. It was just that kick, wasn't it, from Ryan Hampshire that's unlocked this Salford rearguard tonight. Could be the crucial moment of the match. We've got 8 minutes remaining. This is Tinaro Arona, hounded to the ground by 3. They've kept them just over the halfway line, have Salford, so this now is going to be a kick from Miller, you think, and he will find touch if he can. He can't. Gareth O'Brien picks it up. The chase is good.
And that's been part of the difference as well. The management from Wakefield, who step up. One of the halves steps forward, knows exactly where he wants to kick the ball, whereas Salford, as I said, have been caught out a couple of times. Scrappy ends to sets. Here
goes that Mamtazi again. Josh Wood. Josh Jones flicks it away to Sow. He dispatches Ben Jones-Bishop but can't get away from the next two in. Reece Lynn. Little John. Ball goes to ground, untidily finds its way to Haraki, then to Chris Wellen. He's got his hand in the face of Bill Tupu. Johnson comes in and affects the tackle too. Last one coming up for Salford. Little John goes high, the chase is on. Griggs claims it well.
Good take. When Little John was skirting on that right-hand side, there weren't too many Salford players putting themselves in the frame to collect that ball. They were waiting for the last tackle. That's a good take from Griggs.
Salford know they're not out of this yet. Johnson skips away from Louis, can't get away from the next two in. And it was Tyrone McCarthy who got him down. Now we have a run from Paulie again.
Move! All the 10, hold!
Good defensive set from Salford inside the Wakefield half. Feel like they might be kicking shortly, but no, they're running it with Reece Lynn. Junior Sow gets across again. He's done a ton of work as Junior Sow.
This will be high, this one.
Hampshire to Finn.
Clear.
What do you know? You never were a half-back, were you, Baz?
That's the game management that we talked about when Jacob Miller had it on the left-hand side. He's kicked it out the field of play. Then you've got Liam Finn on the right-hand side. They're the sort of correct players. They don't need to win this game again. To loft the ball in the air and come up with an attacking kick.
Nervous times for Chris Chester, Michael Monaghan. Win this, they're 2 from 2 like Leeds Rhinos. Be a wonderful start to the season for them. Salford, 0 from 2, and last week Ian Watson said they weren't too far away against the mighty Wigan. Tonight they're not too far away from Wakefield.
I think they've made a good account of themselves, just in a couple of key areas of the game, particularly the ruck, and particularly in the first 20 or 25 minutes. I think they lost that heavily. I think it would have taken a lot of energy out of them. And although energy does ebb and flow during the course of a game, you do get through an awful lot of work. The arms and the legs build up lactic acid as you try and slow the opposition down. There's been some really big involvements. He'll become a crowd favourite if he's not already. Really exciting style of play, along with David Fafita.
And what Wakefield have got this year, they've got everybody's respect. Last year they went about the business, they almost went into the 8s, they snuck into the 8s, and that game against Wigan, I think it was late September, at home, was as good a performance as I've seen from a Wakefield side for many, many years. Well, everybody that plays Wakefield respects them, takes them 100% seriously, and it's going to be a good time in Wakefield if you support this team.
Release, go on.
Lee Mossop here.
David, move! Hold.
McCarthy carts the ball forward once more.
Surrender!
Don't forget you can vote for man of the match right now on the Our League app. Be interesting to see who you give it to tonight. 5 minutes to go. Wakefield ahead by 6 points against Salford. Salford coming forward though, looking for something with O'Brien, gets it wide. Oh, good feet. Evels again. And releases the pass. Sow picks it up on the bounce. Not giving this up, Salford.
5! Move, Liam! Hold. Go.
Wood. Little John getting more and more involved. So is Louis. Back he comes to O'Brien. Long ball. It's Bibby. Jake Bibby. Oh.
Good effort from Griggs.
That's a try saver.
Griggs gets to him and stops a 4-pointer.
Say all the time, and your job as a fullback, you've got to get your body in front, you've got to hit him with absolutely everything.
There's no technique in that tackle at all. He's just flung himself in, and that's the game. That's the game. Griggs has got himself probably picked up a knock as well.
Well, he's taken a knock, and there's a couple more minutes for you to get your votes in for the man of the match. At the moment, I can tell you, Scott Griggs is just edging it.
I think that'll edge it even further, that tackle.
I think you look at his opposite number in the build-up to that as well. 2 sublime passes, one out to Evels on the left. This one to Bibby in some space. Well, yeah, technique out the window. Put your body between yourself, your try line, and the opposition player.
Watch Salford here though now. They really are ramping it up. And they're looking for the mistake from Wakefield. Will they get it?
Well, this is where they really do need to rev up now. Get as tight as they can. Get off the line, whack with some intent. Try and dislodge that ball.
That's what Kopczak did on Fafita. That was Finn. Here is England. That was Hampshire. Here is Kermond. Last 4 minutes of the match. 6 points the difference. England again will take it forward. Good run from the big forward that. Last one. They're on halfway. The kick. This time from Hampshire. Oh, it gets a horrible bounce over the top of Gareth O'Brien. Look where he picks it up, right on his own line. Look at the chase.
Wow, that chase is incredible. Considering we've played 76 minutes, it's been an absolute bruising game. And Wakefield are still up in the tempo. Right till the final whistle.
Here goes Wellham, not for long.
Move, we're back. Good. Goal 3.
Josh Wood now. Louis looks what's ahead of him. It was David Fafita. That's 4 gone. Wakefield penning them back. 18 metres made, no more. Josh Jones. Josh Jones still. Down he goes on the last. They're still inside their own half. Louis, little dab over the top looking for Gareth O'Brien. Oh, it was a horrible bounce. It's found Scott Griggs instead, and Griggs will take it down this left-hand side.
Move!
Again, bravery on short. Gareth O'Brien chasing that ball, hoping for a lucky bounce, but who's the man who comes up with it? Well, he's opposite Scott Griggs.
It was worth it, wasn't it? It was worth the chip and chase. They're 50-50 those, but Trinity come away with it.
It's been a real battle as well between the two fullbacks.
They're bang in the middle of the pitch here are Wakefield. I wonder whether they'll be tempted to secure this victory with a drop goal. David Fafita. David Fafita will go down.
Release, come on, back up.
That's the third. Here goes Liam Finn. Oh, they have a penalty, Salford. Ball was not played properly.
And recent history will tell you that when the chips are down and time's running out, Salford are a team that have been known to pull things out the bag before.
Well, that's a heck of a penalty as well. Look where it's taken them, into Wakefield territory. And Little John restarts, and Haraki will cart it forward again. This probably Salford's last throw of the dice.
Time off. Let's get rid of that ball, cheers.
Another ball on the pitch caused the delay.
Cheers.
So here we go. Haraki will play the ball. Wood to Tyrone McCarthy.
Keep an eye out for Gareth O'Brien. Where his position is in the field is where the attack will go.
Hold. Go.
Wood is there. Louis now with hands on the ball. O'Brien on the run around. Finds Chris Wellham. And Chris Wellham gets through 2 almost. He's brought down.
Line.
3 tackles gone. They're 10 metres away. It's Wella Haraki again. Pops it up to Robert Louis. Robert Louis to within 3 or 4 metres of the line. Still 2 left this set. Haraki goes the short side. It is with Chris Wellham. And Chris Wellham scores for Salford. Chris Wellham scores for Salford. The kick to come to rescue a point maybe for the Red Devils. Chris Wellham, try last week, try this week. Wow.
Well, Haraki's fooled everybody. A left to right pass, 5-6 metres right on the button to a player in space.
Red Devils. There's 4 defenders as well against 3 attackers. And for Wella Haraki to look up and throw that ball, that's a confident finish from the man who stepped up, stepped forward and took over Ben Murdoch-Masilla's jersey. And that's what it means to the coach. Important kick now, Eddie.
A massive kick coming up for Gareth O'Brien, who has missed with 2 tonight. Liam Finn has kicked 3. 3 tries for Salford in this second half. And 2 tries for Wakefield. So Salford have outscored them 3 tries to 2. Gareth O'Brien, pressure kick. There's the full-time siren. This is the last kick of the match. And this kick to take home a point for the Salford Red Devils tonight, if he can kick it. 2 misses. This the biggest one. Can he kick this and rescue a point? The pressure's on. He knows all about pressure. Remember his drop goal in the £1 million match a couple of seasons ago. Gareth O'Brien then for Salford. It's got a chance. Oh, it's just the wrong side of the posts. And Wakefield hold on for a win by 14 points to 12. They were 8-0 up at half-time. Salford came back at them with a vengeance in the second half. Louis, Evans and Wellham almost on the stroke of full time with the tries. But it was Miller's try, improved by Liam Finn, that proved decisive in the end. They were 14-12 winners, the Wakefield Trinity side. They are unbeaten after the opening 2 games of the season. We've got the man of the match, courtesy of your votes. And there he is, Scott Griggs of Wakefield. He is talking to Angela. He's the Betfred man of the match, Ange.
He is, and there's your silver salver. I've just asked you what your age is. You're still going well for a
33-year-old.
How was that?
I've not snuck in the top 10 for oldest people in the comp yet, so I'll stick to that.
You're still a youngster. I mean, scored the first try as well, got it going, but it was a tough old game, that, right to the very end.
Yeah, really tough. I think, a bit of conditions. It's early doors, it's round 2. It was a really tough game. We've done quite a lot of running there, and look, we got lucky, I think, on the end there. We've got to learn to finish games, and look, we've gone 2 from 2. That'll do for now.
Scoring tries is great, but you put your body on the line, and it came close to the line here, Salford as well. You just stood in front of him.
Yeah, it's only a tiny body as well, so I'm struggling.
You're managing to keep the body going, though, over this long career, and still make yourself relevant on the pitch as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I'm not in the middle getting bashed about like I do quite a lot of running, but other than that, I'm loving it. So,
well, congratulations there, Scott. We've got your check there. Who's it going to go to?
It's going to go to the Candlelighters. Done quite a bit of work for my niece and my brother's family, so I'll go to that, please.
Congratulations. Thanks again, Scott. We've got Gareth O'Brien now. Gareth, that was a tough one, wasn't it? We saw you go down on your haunches as well after missing that kick. You've kicked some great ones, but not tonight.
Yeah, I missed all 3, so that's cost us the game, to be honest. So yeah, I'm disappointed with myself, but I think we deserve something from the game. Boys really worked hard, so I just need to dust myself down and get ready for the next game.
That's the thing, it was a really tough, bruising game, as it's been said up in the gantry as well. But second half, you came out and you made yourself relevant again in this game, and you really pushed it to the edge.
Yeah, we did. It's a tough place to come, Wakey, especially on a cold, Friday night. Yeah, I'm, really disappointed, at the end there. But, credit to our boys. It was a tough game, and credit to our boys. It was, real tough encounter.
Missing kicks doesn't lose your games, though. Thanks for talking to us, Gareth.
Well, he's disappointed with himself, is Gareth O'Brien, having missed 3 kicks. None of them were easy, to be fair to him. And he's had his moments of glory in the past, but not tonight. There's the tail of the tape. It was Salford's second half. They ran in those 3 tries in the second half. They couldn't manage a conversion. And it's Liam Finn's 3 goals that probably has won the match for Wakefield. 3 tries to 2, though, Salford. And let's have a look back on the important moment. That was the softest try I've ever seen.
It was incredible, wasn't it? Robert Louis just switched on, knows exactly what was going on. But Salford will take so much heart from this game. The way that they played, the way that they turned up defensively, they can score tries. And I think this performance from them will send a real message out to the rest of the Super League.
They stuck in the game, didn't they? With a little bit of polish in some areas. They're going to get better. It's still early days, but Wakefield's character shone through.
That was the decisive moment, that Ryan Hampshire kick and the try from Miller.
Yeah, Wakefield will take the plaudits and they take the 2 points. There's no doubt about that. I think a mention for dispatches, though, for the disconsolate Gareth O'Brien. Everything that Salford did, the positions that they put themselves in, including for that play the ball that led up to Wellham's try, were down to the chiming in from the fullback. And it's such a pity that it came down to him to draw the game with this missed kick.
You feel sorry for him when he puts so much pressure on himself like that.
Wasn't much in it either. It was
on the
inches the wrong
minute.
side. Yeah.
So fatigue plays a part, concentration, mental fatigue as well as physical fatigue. But on balance, probably Wakefield deserved the victory.
Wakefield get the victory, and we move on now to what's to come ahead. Well, tomorrow the Women's Six Nations Rugby Union, England against Wales at 12:10 Sky Sports action. And Championship Rugby Union tomorrow evening. Ealing will take on Bristol at 7 on the same channel. Don't forget, tomorrow from the Betfred Super League, Wigan Hull from 12,000 miles away in Wollongong, Australia. 8:30 in the morning on Sky Sports Arena and the main event channel. And tomorrow evening at 5 on Sky Sports Arena, the Catalan Dragons against the impressive St Helens from the opening weekend. The Betfred Super League action comes at you thick and fast here on Sky Sports. Hope you've enjoyed it. From all of us here, bye-bye.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.